Hello, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and do this 10 non-yarny things about me. Gypsy Rose said, if you haven't been tagged, just tell people that I tagged you. So I'm going to say Gypsy Rose tagged me. Yeah, I just think it's interesting to learn different things about people. So I thought you guys might be interested in that. Um, so let's see. I've got 10 things written down, and I'll probably go off track because that's how I am when I'm talking about stuff. So the first thing I wrote down is that I went to school to become a massage therapist back in 1990, at the end of 94 into 95. Um, and my plan was to be a massage therapist on cruise ships and see the world without having to pay to see the world. And I was 19. No, I was 20. Yeah, wait. No, I was 19. Sorry. When I first started, and I turned 20 while I was in massage therapy school. And I did get my certified massage therapist. But I ended up meeting my husband while I was in the middle of massage therapy school. That's number two. I've been with him since the November of 1995, and we've been married since 96, October of 96. And he wasn't my best friend when we got married. He wasn't. And we had a lot of arguing and fighting and things the first 5 to 7 years. It was really bad. It was really bad. I mean, it wasn't physical, and it generally wasn't name calling, but it was a lot of fighting and a lot of dis-ease. And mentioning the D word, divorce, like if this isn't working for us. And then everything just kind of really calmed down. I think we both kind of matured and grew up a little bit. Probably me, I probably matured more because I was only 20 when I met him, and he was 27 when we met. And so he had already been in the Air Force through college. He'd already had, that's a lot more life when you're that age, to be 27 over 20. But yeah, so I matured a lot, I think. And I think he probably matured at least into our relationship a little more, learned a little bit more how to deal with me if I was having a problem, and vice versa. And boy, it's been a great, calm, decade and a half, 2 decades since then, since we calmed down. Not 2 decades, because we've only been married for 22 years, but I don't know. It's been really, really nice, and I really like the calm a lot more than the fighting. I am not someone who likes to bicker or fight with my partner. Like, I just really like things to be calm. Calm and easygoing. Calm does not mean that we don't have passion. I'll just put that out there, even if it embarrasses people. Because I hate when people say, oh, once you're married, you don't have sex, because that's not the way it is for us. So, not fighting doesn't mean that we don't have passion for each other and that we don't love each other, because we love each other desperately. And I'm so ridiculous, because anytime I think of the possibility of him dying, I start crying, which is crazy, because even if I think of him dying when he's 100, I start crying, because and I'm about to cry. I'll just be devastated. He is like the best person for me. So I've got to get off that, or I will cry, because it's ridiculous. I'm so ridiculous. He told me, you put so much energy into being so sad that I'm going to die someday. And I'm here right now. And I'm like, I know, I can't help it. I'll just be so devastated that it's like this terrifying thought to me. So anyway, but we have 3 children. So I guess the next thing on here, is 3 children. So our daughter, you've seen her, she's 21. And then we have our sons that are 9 and 6. And we were infertile. I was infertile. It was my problem. for over a decade. So it was, I was infertile and I had miscarriages and things like that. So we tried and tried and tried, and then we gave up and said, I guess we're just not going to have any more babies. Like, we planned to have 4 originally, and we had 1, and it wasn't until she was 11 that I got pregnant with our now 9-year-old. And it was amazing. It was such a surprise and wonderful. That's one of my next things, is that I had both of our sons at home, right here in our bedroom. I had both of them here in our bedroom, on the floor, actually, at the end of the bed. and it was wonderful and awesome. Oh, and there's Sly squawking in the background, which means he'll probably scream if I rewatch this. It's okay, Sly. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, was that I had both of our sons at home, and my husband caught both of them, and it was this really amazing, bonding, wonderful experience that we just didn't have in the hospital with our daughter. So I don't even know what number I'm on, but here we go with the next thing. The next thing is, when I was pregnant with our daughter, I had hyperemesis, which is what Kate Middleton gets, just vomiting constantly. And I ended up hospitalized. I had home IVs and a home nurse because I couldn't even drink water without throwing it back up. It was really bad. And I lost 60 pounds while I was pregnant with her. And then the nausea got slightly better toward the end. It was still there until after I gave birth to her, but it got slightly better. And I ended up gaining about 20 pounds back of that 60 pounds that I had lost. And then I gave birth to her, and she was almost 8 pounds and perfectly healthy and great. But yeah, my body was not in good shape. I had a lot of cavities and a lot of things like that. So with the boys, I didn't get as sick. Like, pregnancies have never been pleasant for me, but I didn't get nearly as sick with them at all. So that was wonderful. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And then it was after I gave birth to her, all of a sudden I wasn't sick anymore. And my body was like, you have been starving to death and you are going to eat. So I ended up eating a lot. And right around at that same time, my thyroid gave out. So I gained over 100 pounds that first year after giving birth to her. And I don't even know exactly what my highest weight was because I couldn't find a scale. I mean, I know I could have gone to like a vet's office or something that does large animals, but I was humiliated at that idea. So the highest weight that I got on a scale was 360 pounds, but I think it was probably a little bit higher than that. And I was there for almost a decade. And that was also when we were infertile, which is not really a surprise since a really high weight can make it really hard to conceive. And can increase your risk of miscarriages and stuff. So then my dad got sick with pancreatic cancer. And when he died, instead of eating for comfort, which was always kind of my go-to, I went the opposite. I stopped eating and I lost like 70 some pounds. And less than a year after he died, I was pregnant with our first son. So, yeah, that was huge. And yeah, so I used to be really, really big. I have lost a lot of weight. I'm still not thin. I don't think I'll ever be thin, but I'm certainly not going to ever hate on myself for my weight. I mean, it was after I decided, forget it. I'm just going to love myself, even though I'm really big. And I'm going to be honest on my driver's license, which I was. And I still have that driver's license that says, a weight over 300 pounds. And I'm thinking I should probably go get that redone, because in Colorado, they let you renew on the internet twice. So I think it was 12 years ago that I took that last picture, and it says I'm like 332 pounds or something on there, which I'm not anymore. And it doesn't really look like me anymore. So I really should go get it changed. So I should just pay the $15 and go renew it and get a new photograph and put my proper weight on there because I don't want to get pulled over and have people and have the cop go, "That's not you." But anyway, so let me see where I'm at. Okay, so this is something that I just really love, and I think it's a fun factoid. My husband, he's constantly doing little things to let me know that he loves me. Like Valentine's Day, like 3 years ago, I think, he printed out 100 things that said "I love Angela," and they're little tiny. He cut them, like it was 100 of them on one page, and he cut them, and then he hid these little scraps of paper all over the house everywhere, and I still find them. And I can't tell you exactly how many I found. I've been saving them, but a couple of them had been ruined by water, and my youngest son got a hold of one of them and crumpled it up and threw it in the trash. So anyway, but one thing that he did that I just love is a couple of summers ago, there's a field behind our house, and he went out there and he mowed "I heart you." "I heart you." Really big, so I could see it from the window, because with my MS, I can't handle the heat, so I really don't go outside during summer. So I could see it from the window. And then he climbed up on the roof and he took a picture of it so I could see it, which was awesome. And I was so thrilled, and it's still out there. He still mows it. Every time he mows, he goes and he remows it. But right after he did that, mowed "I heart you" really big, apparently Google was updating their photographs. So on the satellite photograph of our house, the "I heart you" is in the backyard, or in the field behind our house, behind our backyard. So I just think that's a really cool thing, and I have it saved, and I'm definitely going to get it printed up into a big photograph to hang on the wall, because I just think it's really cool that our house is there, our backyard is there, and the "I heart you" is there, which is almost as big as the backyard or the house. So I just love that. I think it's awesome. See, I have a ton of tattoos. I think I counted 11 or 12. I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday with my dad. My dad got a tattoo the same day, and I got my first tattoo that day. And I just love tattoos. Like, I love putting the art on my body of things that are important to me, things that mean something to me. And you've probably seen up here, like, this is my grandfather's signature. He was a really, really important person in my life, and he died when I was 17. And it was just like 6 years ago that I had his signature tattooed on me. And then this is the tattoo that my dad got the same day that we got tattoos together. It's a dragon. And when I found out he was dying, I decided I needed to have that tattoo that he got that day because we were together. I don't know why I'm... Uh-oh. Okay, so anyway, I went to the same tattooers that did his, and they actually had a photograph of his original tattoo that was really good. So they replicated it for me. Anyway, I can't believe I'm crying. Whew. So he died 11 years ago. So it's really weird. I don't know if I can post this. Okay, I guess I'll see if I can post it later. I don't know. It's almost like when he was alive, it was a different lifetime because everything is so different now. But the strange thing is, if he hadn't died, I truly believe we wouldn't have our sons. Because I wouldn't have stopped eating and lost all that weight and ended up getting pregnant with them. So in a weird way, him dying, like, got the grandson. Like, he never had a grandson before. He had 6 granddaughters from me and my siblings before he died. And then after he died, my sister had a daughter right before I had my son, just a few months before. And then I had his first grandson. And then my sister had a son and I had a son. So he ended up with 3 grandsons, but he had no grandsons when he was alive. But it's just really weird to me that if he hadn't died, I would probably still be the same weight I was. And I wouldn't have my boys. So it's almost like, for people who believe in heaven, it's almost like he went up there and interceded. I'm not exactly a heaven believer at this point. I mean, I think there's probably some kind of afterlife, but I don't necessarily believe in the Christian heaven, hell. But it's just really weird to me because I wish he hadn't died. But if he hadn't, then my boys wouldn't be here. I really believe that. So, oh my God, I don't know if I can post this. Okay. Oh, the last thing that I had, the 10th thing, is super frivolous now that I cried. Oh my God. Okay. When I was a preteen and a young teen, well, yeah, preteen into teens, I was in 4-H and I raised dairy goats. And so, I bred my dairy goats and I showed my dairy goats and I milked my dairy goats all the time. And the big thing was that I actually won a plaque and 3 big like grand champion ribbons for being a youth dairy goat, like for dairy goat judging, which means you know what they're supposed to look like. If you've ever watched a dog show, you know they know what the different breeds are supposed to look like and all that. And yeah, I remember taking the test and doing the judging at this judging class thing that I was in and thinking that I had done horrible. And then I got first place and I got a plaque and everything. So I still have my plaque and my ribbons. And I have a picture of it, but I won't insert it because that would mean editing this. And if I edit it, I will definitely not post it. So yeah, but I just think that's kind of interesting. It's how many people, you know, won something big for dairy goats that aren't still farm people. Probably not many. Anyway, all right. I guess that's it. I'm going to let it, I'm going to go now, and I guess maybe I should just upload this. I did not expect to cry. I can cry over a lot of things, but I haven't. What the heck? Oh, I haven't cried over my dad in years. I don't know. Anyway. This is crazy. I hope you guys will understand. I guess I could blame this on the MS, but it probably isn't. So anyway. Alright, well, I guess I'll probably post this one first, and then I'll do the other one so that there's something a little more positive after this one. And oh my gosh, it's almost 20 minutes long. Okay, if you didn't watch the whole thing, I don't blame you at all. I'm not going to tag anybody. Just do it if you want to. So, bye for now.